Our Sunrise Smart Start beginning with this. 3 people arrested after a car chase in Rochester that ended in a crash. Officers say that vehicle was stolen and had been used as an attempted armed robbery vehicle just a couple of days ago. Around 10 o'clock last night, police attempted to stop that car near North Street, and then it took off, they say. They say the car lost control during that chase and crashed into a fire hydrant and light pole near Chilai and Woodbine Avenues. The suspects attempted to flee, but they were arrested. The investigation there is ongoing. All right, let's turn our attention to Washington now. House officials say a vote on the rest of President Biden's Build Back Better agenda could take place this weekend. We are joined by Washington correspondent Basil John, live in D.C. this morning. All right, Basil, good morning. So the rest of the agenda, what are we talking about here? What's included?
Well, Mark, good morning. And yes, right now they're focusing on 2 main things, the NDAA and also the Build Back Better plan. For those who don't know, the NDAA is that defense bill, handles a lot of military spending and everything on that. For that, a lot of Democrats and Republicans especially are trying to push a new piece of legislation through with that NDAA bill that will help with dealing with supply chain and also semiconductor development, especially in the United States, make it more of a domestic thing. When it comes to the Build Back Better plan, they're actually pushing that agenda until around December, almost Christmas time, to take care of that, as they're right now still trying to hash out what exactly Democrats want to include in that. So they're looking at some things such as child care assistance, a 1-year extension on the child tax credit, universal pre-K, and also expansions to Medicare and Medicaid.
These were some of the things that were sacrificed not too long ago. What do Republicans have to say about this spending plan?
Well, when it comes to actually both the NDAA and also BBB, Republicans have the same opinion on both. They do not want to spend too much money, and they want to make sure that the final price tag is not too high. For the NDAA, they want to make sure that that nothing is added to the NDAA that is unnecessary. The problem with the BBB, the Build Back Better plan, is the fact that they say right now there's a staggering amount of inflation in the country, and if this plan does pass, they are worried that inflation will continue for the rest of this year and also for next year.
We'll watch it closely. We know you are as well, Basil. Thank you as always. Meanwhile, House Democrats planning events in their states throughout the end of the year to help sell components of the physical infrastructure law. Now, in other news this morning, jury deliberations continuing in the Kyle Rittenhouse murder trial. The 18-year-old is charged in a fatal shooting last August that left 2 people dead and another wounded in Kenosha, Wisconsin. During closing arguments this week, the defense echoed its earlier claims that Rittenhouse used self-defense on the night of the shootings. The prosecution says Rittenhouse was an instigator that night, pointing to videos that show the teen pointing his weapon at demonstrators.
The provocation instruction will really become the linchpin of the jury's deliberation. In the state of Wisconsin, if you are the person who provokes the ultimate act of violence, you have a duty to retreat.
Well, there are some 500 Wisconsin National Guard members on standby in Kenosha for any potential unrest following a verdict in this case. The governor of the state of Washington declaring a state of emergency as severe flooding now forcing evacuations there. Heavy storms earlier this week leading to mudslides, fallen trees, and rising water levels. Over 30,000 people currently without power across the state. Other areas further north into Canada also dealing with some of this severe flooding. And right on cue, James Gilbert standing by. No issues like that around these parts. Focusing on the temperature as we hover just above freezing on this Wednesday.
Yeah, certainly. And we're talking the potential for rain and snow now that we get into late November. But right now we are dry, mostly cloudy, 35 in Victor, 32 Brockport, maybe a little bit of frost on the car this morning to get going. But why not get to the playground this afternoon as we climb well into the 50s, a very comfortable day compared to what we've had. We've been below average for the past really all week long. So today, the warmest maybe even of the entire week to look forward to. Mark?
All right, James, thank you. Well, let's get a look at the roads once again with our sunrise traffic. A live look over 390 by the airport, Brooks Ave. Moderate volume there, and everything's going well in both directions. Same is true at last check on 490 and 590. So again, the good commute continuing on this Wednesday morning. And we'll keep you updated there. Now to the latest on COVID-19. Beginning next Monday, religious exemptions for healthcare workers across the state will come to an end. The Department of Health notifying both hospitals and other facilities earlier this week about this change in guidance. Carmela Boykin live outside Strong Memorial this morning with more on what it could mean locally. Carmela, good morning.
Good morning, Mark. Beginning November 22nd, all healthcare workers with religious exemptions will need to provide proof of a COVID-19 vaccine first dose or a valid medical exemption. If individuals remain unvaccinated, they risk losing their jobs. But the state says facilities need to have a process to accommodate those with, quote, sincerely held religious beliefs. When the mandate was first issued, 17 healthcare professionals filed lawsuits against the state because it didn't include an option for a religious exemption. A federal judge in Utica ruled in favor of the mandate last month. Attorney Robert Brenna says based on the new notice from the state, if workers fail to comply, they will have voluntarily resigned and may lose certain benefits.
Traditionally in New York State, if someone resigns, they are not eligible for unemployment. And I think when you have an organization as committed to this, as the University of Rochester and as large as the University of Rochester, I think that they will be successful, likely, in making sure that this mandate sticks.
Again, healthcare workers will need to have proof of a first vaccination dose by Monday. URMC says they hope employees will take advantage of on-site clinics and clinics across the community. In Rochester, Carmela Boykin, News 8. Mark.
Carmela, thank you. UR Medicine releasing the following statement as well. We're hopeful the large number of employees now working under a religious exemption will choose to accept the vaccines that have been proven safe and effective. Well, anyone in New York 18 and up in an area with a high COVID transmission rate can now get the booster shot. That, according to the governor, announced yesterday. Currently, Monroe County does have a high transmission rate, according to the CDC. The agency also recommends booster shots 6 months after the second dose of the Pfizer and Moderna vaccines or 2 months after a J&J shot. U.S. regulators have approved mixing and matching COVID vaccines. The Rochester Teachers Association issuing a resolution of no confidence in the city school district's response to violence in and around schools this year. RTA President Adam Urbanski releasing a statement saying, quote, the superintendent of schools is failing to take any real action and is offering band-aids and empty rhetoric instead of leadership. And now the superintendent is recommending school closures, school mergers, and school relocations. Additional disruptions laying the foundation for maxing out class sizes and reducing services to our students for next year. Superintendent Leslie Myers-Small responding to the resolution as well, saying in part, as superintendent, I am always open to continuous improvement and welcome constructive feedback. The work we have started will continue with a steadfast focus on the health and safety of our students and staff. For a look at the full statement and more on this, head to rochesterfirst.com. Time now for the GRE Morning Business Report. According to the Commerce Department, retail sales going up 1.7%, slightly higher than expected. Sales climbing more than 16% from a year ago. People spending more money on cars, food, and fuel despite inflation. Millions of TikTok users may be entitled to some money from a class action lawsuit. The suit says the platform collected children's personal information, including locations, phone numbers, and biometric data without sufficient notification or consent. If the settlement is approved, the total payout could be $92 million split among all affected parties. So, James, when it all shakes out, you'll get about 32 cents.
Right. I was going to say, yeah, a couple of bucks here and there, maybe.
Yeah. I know you're a big TikToker.
You sure?
Bus stop forecast. A few kids at the bus stop like TikTok. I know that.
Yeah, definitely. Hopefully you don't end up scrolling all afternoon and you say, where did my time go? Temperature starting off in the 30s. You are finishing in the 50s. Much warmer today than we have been the past couple of days. Looking forward to that. Enjoy today because we've got rain showers and cooler air by the weekend.
Okay. It's kind of like the show. Where did the time go?
Where did the time go?
We're done. Our next update in 30 minutes. CBS Mornings is up next. Have a great day.
Follow News 8 wherever you are on RochesterFirst.com, Facebook, Twitter, and on our app for news and weather.